Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us for our Game Week 37 preview show. I'm Chris, and with me is, as always, the other half of the FPL Cougars team. It's Kieran. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm alright. How are you?
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm also a little bit sad, though, aren't you? Because we're at Game Week 37 now.
Yeah, coming around quickly, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has. It seems like this season's just flown by, and we've just got 2 game weeks to... I was going to say enjoy, but maybe sweat over should be like more appropriate. We're less than 24 hours away from Game Week 37 now. Tonight's show, we're going to briefly recap 36, find out how we did, and then have a look at our Coug Cup picks. After that, we're going to have a look ahead to this weekend's action. We're going to discuss captaincy, our transfer plans. We're also going to just take a look at some general questions before wrapping up on some players we think can make a difference to your, well, hopefully a positive difference to your mini-league ranks in these last 2 games. So I think let's jump right into the action, Keith. Let's talk about 36. How did you get on?
99 points, decently above the average, a nice 30 above the average. Took a hit for, it was Eriksen and Duffy out for Mane, captain, and Kelly, who I stuck on the bench, which I probably should have played instead of Delafeu or something, or Son in hindsight. But so that was a nice 18 points in my favour swing, so that was good. And then, Liverpool defence double up working wonders again. Robson 14, Trent 10, Laporte clean sheet 3 bonus, nice. No triple captain for me this week. So I'm glad I made the hit for Mane just to captain him and cover those points, because if I didn't get anything from Mane or Salah, then that would have been poor, because it would have been Eriksen still on my team, who also blanked. So So the good work from the bench boost in 35 got me up to 43k, and now this week I went up to 38k. Green arrow 5k while taking a hit. That's pretty decent. So happy enough, and happy to have a Vardy party late on as well. I think it was around the 80 odd minute. He was blanking still, and then he got two late goals. So happy with that, and he's on form and looking good. So
we did talk, didn't we, at the end of last week's episode about how he could be in the a really late contender for that golden boot. And those 2 goals he got added on at the weekend against that sloppy Arsenal defence, I think he's stoked it up his chances, hasn't he?
Yeah.
So he's got a real good run at it now. Some tough games to come, but he's there, and he's ready. I had a good week as well, so I made the transfer of Mane in for Christian Eriksen. No hits taken, captain Mane. Obviously, it was the bloodbath, wasn't it, on Friday night? So everyone was swimming in points. And I think it wasn't like 45 or 50 odd points on just between one game, 3 players. It's pretty crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, I think people who triple captain were near like 80, 70 odd points just for one game.
Yeah, well done if you hit the triple captain on one of the Liverpool players this weekend and saved up, because it was something you were thinking about ages ago, wasn't it? And it was, you went with Salah against Fulham way back in 30. Was it 31 now?
It was 31, yeah.
Yeah, it just shows how it can go either way. But we haven't actually updated, have we, since the double game week in 35. So I had a rank jump there to about 50k, and the score of 112 this week jumped me up to 34. So I've had 2 back-to-back nice green arrows, and I think we've had 3 100-point game weeks between us-ish in the last 4 or 5 game weeks. So That's really helped quite a lot. Who else did well? Jota got me 12 points. Wilson got me 16 points. And he could have got both of those. Could have got even more as well on Match of the Day. Jota got taken out for a Stonewall penalty, and Wilson had that big fluffer right at the end when he could have won it for Bournemouth 4-3. But an exciting game. Who else? Sterling was a blank. Son was a blank. But I think everyone else returned, didn't they? Jimenez, Aguero, Laporte. Yeah, it was a fun game week last week. So we'll hope for more of the same this week. And there was lots of fun scores in the FPL Cougars League. Because we had quite a lot of you getting more than 100. Shazlan Sapian scored 116 points. Been working on my pronunciation of that all day, Kieran. Could you tell?
Oh, yeah.
Good. It sounded good. So he went triple captain on Mane. He also had Robertson, Trent, Laporte, James Ward-Prowse, Jota. So he has a bit of a few budget players in midfield. Jimenez and Aguero up front. So that was really good. We will also check in with Shannon, because she is top of our FPL Cougars mini league, and she's been there pretty much as long as I can remember. She scored an impressive 114 points this game week. She's now placed 13th overall. She used her triple captaincy on Salah and also had Mane and Robertson. So she's 2 points now outside the top 10 and only 8 points behind the top 5. So yeah, all to play for on those last 2 game weeks. I think one differential captain pick or one good transfer could place her well inside the top 10. So that's pretty exciting.
Absolutely.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Us like flailing our way down in odd. I think we're like 50 something odd in the FPL Cougars mini league.
I mean, she probably doesn't even watch the videos. She's in the league, but probably doesn't even watch them because our advice is obviously hasn't got us near the top 10 or whatever. So yeah, good on her.
Her boyfriend or a partner watches because he comments on all the videos. So yeah, well done. Pass on.
I'm sure he gives her loads of advice from us.
Yeah. That's right. It's exactly it. So how did we do on our Coug Hub picks? Because I think I had Lucas Moura.
No, you didn't.
Oh.
That was the week before.
Oh.
You had Llorente.
Oh,
I had to check back on the video as well.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, you went Llorente, who was West Ham United at home, and he got 1 point.
God.
Yeah, and I went for Josh King because I did originally go for Almiron, but he later found out which he was. I think he's got a hamstring injury, so he's out for the season.
Mm-hmm.
I think. So yeah, I went for Josh King in the end, and I got 2 points. And obviously in a 3-3 game, you'd think Josh King would get something where Wilson gets 2 goals and assists or something. It's just, even in that, what was it, 5-0 against Bournemouth, Josh King got nothing as well. Against Brighton, sorry. So, I don't know, Josh King just the assister of the assister, I guess.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he got 2 points. So now overall totals is me 65 and you're on 64. So 1 point in it.
Oh,
basically.
my word.
Yeah.
Who have you got lined up for this game week? A little hint without giving it away, and I'm going to try and think about it during the show.
He is from.
So it's a he.
It's a he.
Yeah, what?
Around the Spain-Portugal area of the world. That's where he's from.
Okay. Cool. That is quite a clue. All right. I'll have a think about that during the game. I think I know who it might be actually. Okay. So tonight we're just going to talk about captaincy, aren't we? Because we're so close to the deadline. I personally didn't realise there was a game on Friday night, which is really poor, isn't it? But Everton Burnley tomorrow night, so we've got until then. So don't forget to set your teams. I think the top of my captaincy picks this week here, and you and I have both got the armband on him. Is there any way we can sort of look past Aguero this week?
I mean, I'll have arguments for someone else later.
Okay.
But yeah, I think if you're not bringing in who I'm going to talk about, then yeah, I think he is the standout option. He's barely blanked all season at home, has he? And his record is good, and he's not really getting taken off until about 80 minutes now because he's got no other games to play. So yeah, nailed on and looking in decent-ish form. So yeah, I don't think there's anyone else to look at really, other than. But I mean, Sterling, sure, but yeah, Aguero looks good to me.
Yeah, his stats back up what you're saying there. So that's 53 points in his last 5 games at home as he started. So that's over 10.6 points per game average, which is pretty incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Leicester aren't exactly sort of solid at the back. There's been 2.5 total goals in 9 of their last 11. And like you say, I thought it was really interesting in those two away games back to back against United and Burnley, considering he played the Champions League. He basically hasn't had a rest. And despite that, he still played more than 80 minutes in those last 2 games, which is really unlike Pep and Aguero. So I wonder if he's going to give him 90 minutes this week to try and, secure the golden boot. I think, was it last season he scored 4 at home against Leicester?
Yeah, it rings a bell.
I think it might have been. I think it was 5-1 last season. I think he scored 4 of them, so...
I mean, there's no reason for Pep to rest him. Like I said, they're out of all of the competitions. It's all for the league now, and Jesus is obviously not preferred. So yeah, Aguero with enough days between games, I think is nailed on to start, 100%.
Yeah, 9 away games since Leicester last kept a clean sheet, and that was against Everton way back at around Christmas time. I just think it's difficult to look past Aguero this week, but I suppose you're going to present a case for someone else.
Yeah, I will. I just want to say, obviously, Aguero's stats versus Burnley, he had 1 goal, 9 shots, so that's pretty big.
That is big.
2 on target, 3 off target, and 4 blocked, and then 1 chance created as well. So,
oh wow.
Obviously Burnley, not a great team, but Burnley was sitting like a wall at the back, weren't they? Just trying to defend. So if he's getting 9 shots in a game like where they're just 100% trying to defend and probably trying to mark him out of the game, that means he's doing quite well.
How do you see the sort of Leicester City game going from an attack and defensive point of view? Do you think Brendan's going to go there and sit in? I mean, it doesn't seem like that sort of manager.
No. I think they're looking good at the moment, and obviously Vardy's doing well, so I think they'll try and attack. Why wouldn't you if you're Leicester?
Yeah,
you've got nothing to lose really. So yeah, but having said that, I can't see Leicester getting much. I don't think Vardy will score. I don't think Leicester will score. So I think it's a clean sheet for Laporte.
Okay. Their record has been great, hasn't it, recently, the City defenders?
It has been.
I think it was only the Palace game or maybe their last 8 or 9 league games where they haven't kept a clean sheet, I think now, something crazy like that. So that they're doing unbelievably well. But I just think that Leicester team is really exciting. To be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if they nicked a goal. I mean, it was this reverse fixture on Boxing Day that Leicester sort of convincingly beat City, if you like.
Yeah.
I think the only time they've sort of lost convincingly this season. So I mean, Leicester have proved that they can do it, and they are looking quite exciting under Brendan Rodgers. And I wonder if he's going to sort of think, right, I'm going to go out there all guns blazing, and we're really going to try and play a great attacking game and catch City out a little bit.
That's why it leads me to believe that it'll be an open game, and if you've still got triple captain, Aguero will be perfect for it. And at the same time, like, Leicester are at home that game, and now this is crunch time. City are another beast at home. They demolish teams, don't they, usually?
Yeah.
So, yeah, Sterling's home form is great. Aguero's home form, great. Like, there's hauls there all the time. So, yeah, I think Leicester aren't great defensively, as we said. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, there could be goals everywhere, basically. But yeah, I'm hedging towards the home clean sheet. Form can always go out the window when there's another form team just doing as well. So, yeah. I mean, any other time of the season, Vardy at Man City away and Chelsea at home, you wouldn't be looking at him, really. No. So, yeah.
If you wasn't it that set of fixtures around Christmas time when as well he didn't play City and Chelsea just around Christmas? I know the City game was Boxing Day, and I think he returned in both of those when we were talking about him back then.
Mm-hmm.
So you're minded at the moment to keep Vardy for this game and just hope for some goals, or?
I mean, I'll talk about it later. I'm leaning towards possibly getting him out for a reason. I would like to keep him, but it's just I think there's someone else I want more.
Well, who do you want to talk about next then? Is this who you want to talk about?
Well, should we go on to Sterling? Just keep it on City for a minute. Okay. So yeah, obviously. Might get one less point for the clean sheet in this if Vardy does score, or whoever Tielemans maybe gets another goal.
Yeah.
So slightly less attractive for captaincy option there. And his form recently is suggesting he might get more assists.
Yeah.
Than because obviously in the last game against Burnley he had 3 shots, 1 off target, 2 blocked, and then 4 chances created. So that to me sounds he's crossing it a slight bit more.
Yep.
Through balls to Aguero sort of thing. So yeah, if you want to go differential captain, he's still good, still a great fixture, and yeah, he should 100% play. We'll probably get the 90 compared to Aguero getting 80. So yeah, I think he's still a great option. What do you think?
Yeah, I like the look of Sterling as well. I think you and I both got the vice captaincy on him just because I don't think there's any better alternate options, but I still favour Aguero over him purely because of the amount of shots Aguero has at home, how he's more consistent at home, despite the fact Sterling's points per game is really high over the last 5, so he's on 9.4 points per game over the last 5 at home that he started. Aguero slightly more on 10.6. I just feel like Aguero, what sways it for me a little bit is the history, which is a strange thing to talk about in FPL really, because you usually go on recent form, but the fact that Aguero last season scored 4 against Leicester sort of weighs really heavily in my mind, because I remember that game, and when Aguero turns it on, he can really put in those power performances, and we've seen it in the last couple of months. That home game against Arsenal, the home game against Chelsea, those back-to-back hat-tricks. I know Sterling as well got a hat-trick in the game against Watford, so they're both capable, but I feel like on any given day, it's more likely that Aguero is going to be explosive than Sterling, if that makes sense. I've also been a bit, not worried by it, but it seems like Sterling's been looking for a bit of a scrap recently. I don't know if you noticed, like in the Spurs game, he was a bit shirty, wasn't he? And then in the Burnley game, he was getting involved a bit late on with James Tarkowski, I think it was. But I just feel like all these really high intensity and tense games for City, because they've won 1-0, 2-0, 1-0, 2-1, haven't they? And all of the games have been quite close. And when they've got a lead, they're usually playing quite defensive and looking to just nick that second goal on the counter. Some games they've got it, and others they haven't. I feel like when they haven't got the goal, like the Tottenham game, Sterling's been used up front to sort of do a bit of time wasting and holding the ball up, and that's when he's picking up cards and making silly fouls. He did that against Burnley. So 2 back-to-back games. I just feel like that yellow card could be really irritating because it could sort of be you're looking at taking some bonus away as well as taking the yellow card away. I know it's a strange thing to think about with Sterling, but I don't see Aguero as aggressive.
It's certainly possible this game could be quite cagey as well.
Yeah.
I mean, City, lots on the line.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if they mess up at all, then title's probably gone. So that means that if that's cagey, that could mean that Sterling is feeling the pressure, and you know the whole team might be feeling the pressure. And those final balls, they're not relaxing and smashing teams. Those final balls through might not be as inch perfect as they have been before. Sterling might not be able to get onto those like sort of crosses from the other side from Sane or something if Sane plays, obviously.
Do you think he will, Sane, play? I mean, De Bruyne's out. You think Fernandinho looks like he's going to be out as well? You think Sane's
Yeah, I think Sane probably will, yeah.
Because he started against Burnley, didn't he? Got replaced. I feel like it's the sort of game Sane and Sterling might flank Aguero and Bernardo play a bit deeper, maybe.
Yeah, possibly. I think Bernardo is going to be fantastic for them in these games. I think he's essential for the next two. I think he's 100% nailed on, and if you want to get him in as a sort of punt, for a third City maybe attacker rather than Laporte or something, that'd be a good way to go. Yeah. He could be the one that gets the points rather than Sterling and Aguero.
Yeah, no, I like it. I like Bernardo. He's been playing really well. I'd like to. Yeah, if I had 4 City spots, I think he'd be my 4th player, but
100%,
I think I've got the attack, defence and mid covered at the moment. All right. Yes, your alternate option.
Okay, sure. So Hazard, Watford at home. Watford at home. So yeah, I think his home form has been crazy good, basically. He's called an FPL troll, but he's an FPL troll away. Whenever he's away from home, he doesn't do too well, but his home form has been astonishingly good.
Yeah.
And since game week 2, he's only had 1 blank.
Right.
At home. And in those times, his home form...
Since game week 2?
22.
Okay, I was going to say.
So since game week 22, his home form has been 5, 15, 1, 10, 14, 16, and 7, and that's 68 points, which is by far and away better than this week's fixtures of Aguero home form, better than Sterling's home form, better than Mane's away form, better than Salah's away form in that time since game week 22 by about 20 odd points.
Wow.
So, yeah, I mean, he hasn't had a huge haul in a few weeks, so he's due one, and Watford can get spanked at any time. We've seen it before. So, yeah, I think he's definitely worth a gamble, and he's going to be a low differential captain. I mean, he's 25% owned. For him, that's quite low.
You'd imagine, though, most people who have him wouldn't be captaining him over a City player, though, so I think you're right in terms of a differential captain.
Yes, yeah.
I
think other people just haven't looked into the stats of his own form enough. So, yeah. I mean, I've got a load of numbers here I can talk about. Do you want me to?
Yeah, please, yeah.
You wanted me to talk about him playing with Higuain.
Yeah.
And if it affects him at all.
Yeah, shall I just preface this by saying that both Higuain and Hazard are rested for tonight's game in the Europa League?
Okay, right. So that means they're both going to play.
Yeah.
Right.
So, hit me.
Fair enough. Okay, so Hazard playing with Higuain since game week 24. This is a load of numbers, right? So game week 24, Bournemouth away. Hazard played 90 minutes. He got 2 points. And then Higuain played 64 minutes. Game week 25, Huddersfield at home. This is Huddersfield. He played 76 minutes and got 15 points. And Higuain played 90 minutes. 26, Man City away, 90 minutes, 2 points. Higuain 90 minutes as well. That's away again, showing that he's not good at away. Tottenham at home, I think he might have been slightly got a knock in this or something. So he played 59 minutes, got 1 point. And Higuain played 83. And then Fulham away, 73 minutes, 6 points. Higuain 90 minutes. Game week 30, Wolves at home, 90 minutes, 10 points. Higuain 90 minutes. 31, Everton away, 90 minutes, 2 points. Away again, not returning. 33, West Ham. I think he missed 32 for some reason. I think he might have been injured there. So 33 West Ham home. Oh no, they blanked in 32, didn't they, or something?
Yeah, blanked, yeah.
Yeah, okay. 33 West Ham home, 90 minutes, 16 points. Higuain played 75 minutes. And 35 Burnley at home, 90 minutes, 7 points. Higuain played 76 minutes. And then lastly against United, 90 minutes, away, 2 points. Not much there. So 63 points total in those games, home and away with Higuain, right?
Okay, that's, yeah.
And then his home form with Higuain is Huddersfield at home, 15 points, 28, and game week 28, Tottenham at home, 1 point. Wolves at home in game week 30, 10 points, and then 33 against West Ham, 16 points, and then game week 35 against Burnley, 7 points. So that's 49 points at home.
With
so that's
Higuain.
like, yeah, basically. So that's what, about 60, 70% of the sort of points he's got have been at home.
Yeah.
And that's with Higuain, which is 5 games, which they've both played pretty much all 90 minutes.
Yeah, that is interesting because, I mean, what's been sort of touted recently is that when Higuain starts with Hazard, he doesn't return very well. So when I was...
I don't think that's true. It's just away form.
Yeah, it's just the way form. So at home, they're absolutely cosy.
Yeah.
But it's just the way. And it's quite reassuring to know they're both rested tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's quite interesting. And,
I mean, the conclusion is that playing with Higuain hasn't really affected him at all, really. It's just his away form and Chelsea's in general away form has just mottled his point returns and everyone's view of him as a troll.
So then if we take a sort of a wider look at that, because we've got 2 games left, and obviously the second, or their game week 38 game is away at Leicester. Is Hazard a player you think you'd want to bring in for a hit potentially this week, which you think would be justified, and then playing him in a away game, which, like you say, he usually blanks in?
I think so, because it's Leicester who we've said already will probably attack teams, and there's time and place for him to get on the counter and score. So it's not like he's not scored away, so he can definitely do it against them. So why not? So I looked at 2 games where Hazard and Giroud. There's only 2 games where Hazard and Giroud have played 90 minutes together this season.
That's quite interesting. Okay.
And the first one was game week 5, Cardiff at home. It was a 4-1 victory for Chelsea. Giroud got 2 assists, and Hazard got a hat trick. Got 20 points.
Yeah, I remember that one.
And then game week 32, Brighton at home. So they obviously did play 32. 3-0 victory. Giroud 1 goal, 6 points, and Hazard 1 goal, 1 assist, 1 clean sheet, so 14 points.
Yeah, pretty
so
decent
obviously
return.
In those 2 games he's got where have I put it here? 34 points for Hazard with Giroud. So in just 2 games, that's pretty good.
It is good, isn't it? I mean, it's a smaller sample size for them to go on playing against lesser teams, but I think it generally shows that Hazard's a home bird this season. I think the fact that he's not starting tonight, he may come off the bench a bit later. I think that puts him in quite a good position to be a good captaincy option this weekend. Also, talking about Watford, their opponents, so Chelsea have not lost at home against Watford in the last 6 games, and they've scored more than 3.5 goals against them in those 6 games, so they usually do slaughter them. And it was Hazard who scored 15 points against them in the reverse fixtures.
I was going to say, yep.
Yeah, that he is. Yeah, I mean, he's looking like a standout option. I think if I had the money to do a direct swap between him and Mane, I probably would. But just that -4 to get him in, which I might want Mane back for the week after on the final day of the season, it's a bit of a conundrum, really. But what do you see yourself doing about it?
I mean, if I could just do it a straight swap, it'd be a no-brainer. I'd do it straight away. It's the hit that is the hard thing.
Yeah.
Because it's I mean, I have a few ways to do it, but it would be Son to Hazard and then Vardy to Zaha, something like that. Or it would be Son to Hazard and Laporte to someone like Peltier.
Right.
And just have Kelly play the final two games, which are decent games for them actually, which isn't that bad. And keep Vardy. Or there's Son to Hazard and Jimenez to someone like Long, maybe Grant even at Huddersfield. It's not awful.
So there's ways
there's
in
options.
there to do it.
There is, but it's just that hit. I mean, Son could easily do well against Bournemouth. I don't necessarily think he will. Spurs have looked a bit off the pace lately.
Well, should we talk about Son after Liverpool? Because I sort of want to do a bit of a Champions League double bill with them. because we've obviously come out of the Barcelona games and the Ajax games this midweek. Liverpool sort of start what would it be? Well, are the first team to play at them and Man City this weekend. They play on the Saturday night. That Newcastle game, I don't see it as a good game at all for Liverpool. I think it's been really difficult. So Newcastle won their last 6 of 7 at home. Liverpool have only won once away at St James's Park since 2013, which I thought was quite surprising. So
really,
yeah, that's a really poor record there. Despite that, though, Liverpool have been on a great run in the league, and they scored at least 2 in their last 7. But the fact that they played Barcelona at home in another must-win game 3 nights later, do you think there's going to be rotation there? Are Salah and Mane at any risk? I mean, I think Firmino will come back in, but how are they going to prioritise now?
I think they've got to prioritise the league now. They're 3-0 down in that Barca game. I think they're obviously not going to not try for the Champions League, but there's one eye thinking, we might be out here already.
Yeah. We've
got to prioritise the league. That's still up for grabs. So, yeah, I think full team against Newcastle away for sure. And I hope Trent comes back in.
Yeah,
I think he should do.
I think he will, because I thought they looked they didn't look as good, obviously, going forward down that right last evening.
I think Gomez looked poor, to be honest.
What do you think about the captaincy options for Salah and Mane? Obviously, you and I both own Mane. Salah's returns have been great now, so he's returned 8 times in the last 7. He's averaged over 4.6 points away from home in his last 3. But Mane's form is really patchy. I don't like it at all, and it makes me think he seems like a bit of a waste of money in my team this week, especially with only 2 game weeks to go. His form is 3-1, 13, 3-3 away from home in the last 6, and that 13 was against Fulham when they were poor. So it just makes... Oh, sorry, that was the last 5 games. How do you see sort of Liverpool midfielders as captaincy options this game week? Are they good, or are they... I feel it's too difficult for them.
I don't think it's too difficult. I think they can definitely go there and win. I don't think it'll be a slaughtering like Huddersfield, because obviously Huddersfield are bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you fancy them, I think they're still good captain options. I mean, why not? Yeah. Is there any chance that Benitez just puts out a lesser squad because he wants Liverpool to win the league?
He'd get crucified.
He would, but maybe he's just like, a few people have picked up knocks. We'll play John Joe Shelby and centre back or something. We'll play Hostelou at the front with 4-5.
The fans would be the Newcastle fans would be livid. They'd be livid.
Yeah,
I think it's such a difficult game this for Liverpool. The quick turnaround time, the Wednesday, it's a late game on Saturday night as well. It's like is it an 7:45 kickoff as well?
Is it?
It's later than usual. Yeah, it's a late one. So the fact that they're like literally 3 days later meant to be kicking off against Barcelona in another must win, although I appreciate difficult. I mean, we saw last night they had lots of chances against Barcelona. If they play the same way against them at home, they could easily get a couple of goals back to back in 10 minutes. You know what they're like when they go full steam. But I just
that applies to Newcastle away as well. They had loads of chances and they just finished them.
Yeah, potentially. I'm so confused about Liverpool this game week. But what? So you're not so hot on them captaincy wise?
No. I think there's City are way safer at home, and or Hazard or even Jimenez, something like that.
Okay. Have you got any differential captains bar Jimenez that you wanted to mention?
Oh, differential captains. Not really. I looked at the main ones, but are you suggesting Son maybe?
Well, I wasn't actually gonna say some, but I do think that'll be a good game against Bournemouth.
I mean, possibly Robertson.
Yeah, Robertson.
If you want to go there, maybe. I think there's a clean sheet there, and he's way more nailed on than Alexander-Arnold is. Yeah. So, yeah.
No, I fancied Sigurdsson as a bit of a differential captain this week. Like, home game against Burnley, 2 goals and 2 assists in his last 6. I had a look at how many shots he's been taking because one of the games caught my... how many chances he's been creating, because he had quite a lot of big chances created in one of the games. So he's only second to Eriksen in the last 6 for chances created, so that's 19 to 21. And he's had 7 shots on target in the last 6 game weeks. And do you know which midfielder that is the same as? You were just praising him.
Hazard.
Yes, that's right. So I was quite impressed by that. So, Burnley allowed 88 shots in the last 6 games, so that's the 6th worst in the league. I kind of fancy. I mean, we've been talking about Sigurdsson all season. He's sort of like been trotting along, and every so often he'll do a little bit of something, and I fancy him in that Friday night game. So
you tempted by Amane to Sigurdsson either?
No, well, he's an option. I think in terms of players I'd like in this weekend, I think as Hazard, Pogba, Sigurdsson would probably be the bottom 3 of that list. But a lot of people have been speaking about getting rid of Son because they're off form, but that Bournemouth game is usually like a humdinger for Spurs. Average like more than 3.6 goals in all of their Premier League games against them. So that's
but
they usually
Spurs have basically no one really. I think does Eriksen get rest in that game?
They're going to need to do something, aren't they?
They've got to give him something because he looks tired. He looked tired against Ajax, and Son has obviously been banned for that one. But do they want to keep him like fresh for the Ajax game? Maybe.
I think he's got to play just because they need to confirm this 3rd place. I think the game against Bournemouth's easier than that game against Everton on the last day of the season.
Well, they did beat Everton, like 6-2?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That Everton were in a really bad spell then, weren't they?
Yeah.
Now they've got all these clean sheets in a row. But I think Spurs are going to change the team quite drastically this weekend, but still going to play Son.
Yeah, I know that Bournemouth
really
game could be scary to not have Son, but I just fancy Hazard more.
Okay. Right, should we talk about players we're looking at as differentials for maybe the last 2 a little bit more focused?
Should we mention Pogba? Is that a possible captaincy?
That's sort of. Okay. I suppose he sort of comes into captaincy a little bit. He was one of the players I was thinking about at differentials almost, or despite his ownership being so high, I feel like in the top 100,000, he's probably been a bit not overlooked, but a little bit forgotten about.
Yeah.
So go talk to me about Pogba.
I mean, definitely people are going to be thinking about him because Huddersfield bad, as I said before. I think 3 of the last 4 game weeks have had their top scorer in that week has been against Huddersfield. So with Lukaku pretty much out, looks like to be season ending. Rashford.
Do you reckon it's going to be United career ending?
Maybe, yeah. I mean, there's talk about PSG wanting Lukaku or something.
Yeah.
But anyway, so you'd think Pogba may be pushed forward a bit, possibly. I would expect Martial to come in as well. But Huddersfield are terrible. Pogba maybe relying on penalties, but that doesn't bode too well. But it's Huddersfield. Surely he can get something, right?
Yeah.
At least a couple of assists.
It's the fixtures, isn't it? Again, rather than the form. That Huddersfield 100%. And that Cardiff game, like 2 goals in 8 for Pogba, and they were both penalties in one game. So his open play form hasn't been brilliant, probably since that Fulham away game. So you're sort of hoping that he's thinking ahead to the summer now. Now all the difficult games are out of the way with like the Barca, Everton, City, Chelsea game. He can flex his muscles against some of the league's lower opposition, which he likes to, and just pad his stats a little bit.
Yeah, I don't think I'll go that way. I don't trust United at all.
No.
It's possible for even Huddersfield to score against United and
beat them.
The Huddersfield beat United last year, I think, in like a marquee win for them.
Yeah.
So, with United's form being as bad as it is, Huddersfield might even get a draw or something. That it could be like a 1-1. Yeah, I don't see too much happening, to be honest.
I quite like all of the Southampton, or maybe a couple of 3 or so of the Southampton assets between now and the end of the season. James Ward-Prowse, Long, Redmond, they're all owned by less than 5% of the game. Redmond's sort of been standing out a bit recently, so that's 4 goal involvements in 6 for him. He also had 6 shots on goal against Bournemouth, which is a great return. I think he's 5-1, so he's really affordable. You could pretty much get him for any of your midfielders across the line. They obviously play West Ham away this game week and finish with a real plum fixture at home against Huddersfield on the final day. So I think anyone of Ward-Prowse, Long and Redmond is looking really good for either of those 2 games. I think they're going to go out on a bit of a high this season.
Yeah, I agree. I've got Redmond written down, and Long as well as a possible. Yeah. I mean, I've said don't go with Long a few times, haven't I? I think he is a bit of a troll, or maybe not a troll, just someone who just doesn't score enough. But I mean, this form is probably going to be fleeting for him. So maybe get on it while you can.
Yeah, it's funny players like him sort of come to the fore at the end of a season. Like I had a look back, he's only completed 90 minutes once this whole season. He missed two big chances against Bournemouth. So I don't know about how reliable he is. I think if I was going to put them in order of preference, I think Redmond, then Ward-Prowse, then Long. I think Ward-Prowse has been good, but he's almost been sort of outperforming the chances he's been getting. So it was another long ranger goal, wasn't it, against Bournemouth?
Yeah.
I mean, how many more times is he going to score one of those or bang a free kick in? So I think
someone else from Southampton. Probably something to discuss, like when we do like a year review or whatever. Just a big disappointment has been Austin, I think.
Yeah.
A lot of people had him in their teams for like game week 1 or something, thinking Austin might do really well.
Yeah.
But he's just been fully overlooked pretty much the whole season.
Yeah.
It's a shame because I think he's a good player.
Yeah, I've totally even forgotten about him. I was thinking Ings and Long were Southampton's only forwards. So.
Yeah, no, Austin, man.
God, yeah, he was way back, wasn't he? All right. Who else do you see sort of being a good close to the season? Looks like Palace have got some nice fixtures, and you've been talking up Zaha recently.
Yeah, I think Zaha looks decent. His next game, Cardiff away. His away form's actually pretty good. 13.9% owned, 6.9 million. Away form since game week 27 has been 13, 9, 2, 5 and 6.
That is good, isn't it?
Returning decently. Those 5 and 6s are probably penalty assists for Millie. But yeah, I think he looks decent shout. Cardiff obviously trying to fight for their lives, which means they'll probably leave gaps. And Bournemouth at home, their defence is pretty awful. So there's obviously going to be chances there as well. So yeah, I think Benteke has now been injured and probably out for the season. So Zaha probably back with Batshuayi, I guess, or maybe Zaha up top by himself. Feels decent to me.
Well, I think it's a must-win game, isn't it, now for Cardiff? After that disappointment losing away against Fulham last time out, they've now lost 5 of their last 6 games. And Palace have kept 3 clean sheets in 3 against Cardiff. So I think it points towards this being the game where the Cardiff finally get relegated and Palace pick up another away win. And I'd expect that Zaha and Milivojevic are going to be involved with the goals in this one.
I think it's possible that, say it's tight until like 60, 70 minutes, and then if they get a goal, like if Palace get a goal, I think heads could go down. Yeah. And it could turn into a 2-3-0 sort of thing.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think it could be it could be a good game this for Palace, you know.
I was going to say Aubameyang.
Aubameyang.
Still 17.9% owned, 10.8 million. Brighton at home, Burnley away. 2 great fixtures.
Yeah, I like it. And he's still chasing the Golden Boot, isn't he?
He is still great. Yeah, he is. So he's had lots of 90 minutes lately, back from his sort of illness. He'll probably get 90 minutes in the last few fixtures, I think, for them. If you want to punt that way, why not? Obviously, their away form is woeful. But, Brighton at home feels like a game where he could get a hat-trick and hopefully, or maybe, get that Golden Boot. Who knows?
He and Lacazette are both playing this evening in their Europa League game. We actually had a question in from Nicola on Twitter who said, is Lacazette worth a punt for the last 2 game weeks? So do you see Aubameyang as a better option there, or would you avoid Lacazette in favour of someone else in that price bracket? Who do you see as like a good striker option for the last 2? I mean, the fixtures are there for Lacazette.
I think both of them are okay. I don't know, Lacazette might get a few rests. He's played all the minutes lately. I mean, I have said that before, but he hasn't been dropped, has he? So
he's so unpredictable, isn't he, Emery?
Yeah, so it's hard to go with either of them. But if you want to go with a low player who's obviously a good player and plays in a good team that is low owned and decent differential for the last 2 games, then those 2 are ones to gamble on, I suppose.
Yeah, no, I think as well as gambling on... Sorry, as well as not gambling on Lack, you've got to think that this Burnley game, sort of the Brighton game especially, is sandwiched in between these 2 Europa League games. And Arsenal had a really poor run of form recently, and they're going to need to get back into... Well, they basically need to take 6 points from these last 2 to have any chance of getting in the top 4. So you think that maybe Emery's chance to rotate is out the window now, and he's just got to go guns blazing and try and pick up 6 points from these 2 and play the strongest side.
Yeah. Why not then, basically?
Why not?
a few others from United, Martial possibly.
Oh, Kieran, not Martial.
Yeah, I mean 3.7% owned, 7.2
For a
million.
reason. What's happened to him? He signed the contract, and everyone's been bringing up his running stats. Did you see that? He's ran 3 kilometers less than Mata on average this season. I mean, and Mata, he's lazy. Why?
Oh, yeah, he is 100%. But you can't deny that he's a good player. And with Lukaku, Rashford possibly out,
Rather have Sanchez.
he's
Kieran.
got
What does
he's
that
got to
say?
step. He's got to step up though, surely. I mean, and Sanchez has looked so bad as well. And apparently Ollie's had a go at Martial for his lack of work rate.
Good.
So yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying definitely get him, but he's so low owned, and it looks like he'll probably play.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then there's Shaw, 6.2% owned, 5 million.
Kieran, a United defender.
Yeah, but Huddersfield.
Oh my god. No. You're crazy.
8 points his last game versus Chelsea. These feel like 2 games
'cause
that
he got an
he
assist.
could go forward and get an assist.
Yeah.
And surely a clean sheet in one of them.
You'd hope a clean sheet against Cardiff, but I can't trust United at all.
And then I've got one more. Do you want to hear
Yeah,
it?
go on.
Okay, Antonio.
Okay, yeah, I like Antonio. What, just because you want to see another one of his crazy celebrations?
I mean, I could do without that,
Okay.
but
I kind of
Southampton
liked it.
home, Watford away, 1.1% owned, 6.8 million, 7 and 8 points in his last 2. So yeah, those 2 fixtures are good for them, and he looks like he'll probably play the 90 because he's hit a bit of form. Yeah, they can make that last minute push for the 7th spot. Why
Like
not?
it, like it. Well, my last differential pick, if you're chasing him in the mini league, is a striking option. Someone you've not really mentioned, but could be a good Vardy replacement. It's Mitrovic, who's probably looking for a transfer away. Fulham in really good form, aren't they? 3 wins on the bounce, 3 clean sheets. He's got 1 goal and 1 assist in the last 4. 25 shots in that time, which is first for all forwards in the game. 9 shots on target, again first for all forwards in the game. 17 shots in the box. Again, Kieran, guess what? First for all forwards in the game.
Okay.
And 26 penalty area touches. So yeah, he's looking really good. He's getting in the box. He's having all these shots. The game this weekend, Wolves, on paper looks like a good fixture for Wolves, but they've been historically bad against teams in sort of the bottom 3, haven't they, this season? They've lost twice to Huddersfield. They had a tricky time against Fulham away earlier in the season, and Fulham finish at home against Newcastle, which I think is a decent fixture considering Newcastle's away form. So yeah.
Did you
Fancy.
did you hear the stat on Totally Football Show about Wolves, about if they'd won the games against the bottom 4 or something, that they'd be 3rd
Oh
in the
yeah,
league?
I heard that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So they might be a team to push into that top 6 next
They
year.
could be. That Mendes money, and the sort of the Portuguese scouting network working to full capacity. Maybe Ronaldo's.
Maybe they'll buy Mitrovic.
Maybe
Who
they'll buy
knows?
Mitrovic.
To back up to Jimenez.
I'm hoping they sort of upgrade Traore with Ronaldo. Can you imagine just expand that Portuguese connection?
Yeah, I mean,
Can you imagine?
Juve bought him to win the Champions League and he didn't do
He
it.
didn't
right?
do it, so he can win it with Wolves season after next.
Yeah, yeah.
I could see that happening. Cool. All right. We've sort of talked about captaincy, haven't we? Just a little bit.
Yeah,
Just a little bit. We haven't talked about we have talked about our transfers, haven't we? We're both a little
Slightly,
bit undecided.
I mean, maybe Mitrovic is a decent one to look at instead of Vardy, instead of Zaha.
Yeah, might give him more money. I'd like to bring Hazard in, but I'm a bit loath to take a point hit to take anyone out at this stage of the season. I'd feel so annoyed if I took Hazard, because really I only see the Hazard home game against Watford as being really good, and I'd be really loath if I took out Mane for him this week, and Mane's popped up even with an assist would probably negate the -4. Also, I don't really have any good options to move my team around a little bit because they're quite set. So I think I'm going to leave myself 2 transfers for game week 38.
Oh, that's just so boring.
No, it's not.
I
I can have some fun. I can take my Wolves players out for game week 38 for some surprise picks.
I just fancy it this week. I mean, I don't know if it's stupid. Maybe I should be protecting my rank, but at this point, why can't I play fancy, right?
Kieran, what happened when you played fantasy in the UCL last night? Tell the viewers.
I captained Mane instead of Messi, but hey, I was top 200 in the world, right? I wanted to roll that dice.
I don't know, but where are you now?
300 in the world,
Okay.
so it wasn't bad.
It wasn't that bad, no. Okay.
But Hazard has the stats to back this
He
up,
does.
right?
He does. Yeah, yeah. and he has a fixture to back it up as well. Well, I say more power to you. Go for it. Let's just talking about our ranks in general now. This is the highest. Potentially your highest ever season finish now by a long way. Mine's going to be I'm currently third highest season finish if it ended right now. If that makes sense. I had 135,000, so I'm just ahead of that out of 8. So that's not bad. I'd be quite happy to finish in the top 50,000, considering I was like 150,000 about 4 or 5 game weeks ago.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm in a protecting rank kind of mode.
I would be happy, but I don't know. It's just this is the first season I'm taking it fully seriously. That's why I've made a huge improvement after I'm taking it fully seriously, and I think I don't know. Maybe it's too maverick to go Hazard, but
I think you've made some maverick moves this season, though. I'm quite a conservative player, really.
I don't really think I've maybe taken 3-4 hits all season, and there hasn't been a lot.
Yeah, true. I actually had to look back at how many hits I'd taken. I was taking 6. I was quite surprised about that.
Okay, oh, maybe mine's more then. Because I swear I've taken more than you.
I'd say your maverick move was taking Salah out on the first wild card.
Yeah, but that was he was terrible round 16, wasn't he? He was doing nothing. He wasn't doing nothing. He was getting like a goal maybe like every other game, something like that. But he just wasn't proving money or bang for buck, basically.
Yeah, you're right. But then he was, and then he wasn't again.
And then he got his hat trick against Bournemouth the same week. So whatever.
Let's try and move on quickly from that then. Should we pick out some clean sheets for this weekend?
Yeah, I'm going to go Everton. I think they'll get one.
Yeah.
Liverpool.
Oh, that's good. You didn't pick out the one I was going to pick.
And then United, maybe.
Oh, not
maybe.
United. No.
Oh, sorry.
Huddersfield are going to score.
Surely.
A Moy penalty or something. Bouncing off De Gea.
Karlan Grant goal. I guarantee it.
I was only going to pick one this week, and that was going to be Arsenal at home against Brighton. Brighton's poopy form in front of goal, despite them scoring last time out against Newcastle. I can't see them scoring against Arsenal.
So if Brighton lose that,
Cardiff have
who stays up?
Cardiff have still got to win. Basically, Cardiff have still got to win their last 2, and Brighton have got to lose their last 2.
Now, haven't they only got to win one and get a draw? Then they'll be level on points.
I don't think so.
Well, it's probably goal difference still.
Yeah, I think it is goal difference. It's like an extra point. Yeah. Okay, I'd also probably pick Chelsea actually as another clean sheet point. Cougar Cub picks. I was going to say your Spanish or Portuguese, which wasn't that helpful actually thinking about it, because it could have been any player from those 2 countries. I'm going to guess it was Mata.
No.
Oh.
No, not even close.
What? Who is it then?
Bernardo Silva.
Oh, God. All right, yeah, that's a good
pick. 10.9% owned. So, yeah, and let's go.
Portugal!
Portugal.
Okay, I'm going to go with Sigurdsson, who I sort of mentioned earlier as a captaincy pick. I think quite like Sigurdsson at home to Burnley tomorrow night.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What's he owned by, sorry?
I don't know. Less than 15, though.
You hope.
Of course it is. No one owns Sigurdsson. I didn't check, to be honest.
It will be. It must be.
No one owns Sigurdsson.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So that, I think, wraps up the show, unless you've got anything else you want to add.
Don't think so.
Should we do some predictions for the Liverpool and City game? Because we'll probably record next Tuesday, I would have thought. Oh, maybe we won't. Maybe we'll record on Monday, actually. Sorry, guys. Just a bit of chatting amongst ourselves here.
Is this for the Champions League?
No, for the Premier League.
Oh, for Premier
League. Let's just predict the Liverpool game, because I honestly think they're going to finally drop points. I think it's going to be 1-1 or something.
Ooh, okay, I'll go for a 2-0 Liverpool.
Okay. All right, cool. Okay, so we're going to be back early next week to preview game week 38. I can't believe it. And then the week after, we're going to do our sort of end of season wrap-up show where we're going to talk about the game in general and what we hope for next season. So that should be quite a fun one. And that'll be coming out the week after. But until next week, thanks everyone for joining us. If you've got any questions about your team, comment on the video on YouTube or tweet us at FPL Cougars. Search FPL Cougars up on Apple and Spotify to find our podcast version as well if you like. Until next week, enjoy game week 37. It's goodbye from me.
Cheers and good luck.
Bye-bye.